So hi guys, welcome back sa food safety class natin ngayon. Kami pala yung group 3 and then ang re-report namin is cleaning and sanitizing. Yan. Sabi dito sa learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to differentiate cleaning and sanitizing. Yan. Kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng cleaning and sanitizing daw. Next is identifying the different types of dishwashing machine. Kasi may mga different types palang dishwashing machine dito. Malalaman natin yan. Then next is demonstrate proper cleaning and sanitizing procedure in the operation. So, sabi din kasi dito na hindi lang basta-bastang linis. May mga procedure din palang ang pagki-cleaning and sanitizing. And lastly is appreciate the cleaning and sanitation program of food service industry. Yan. So next is, ang pinakaunang slide natin is cleaning and sanitizing. And re-report siya ni John Allen Kaampwet.
So, ang topic natin ngayon ay cleaning and sanitizing. Cleaning removes food and other dirt from a surface. Ang cleaning ay importante sa paghahanda sa bawat gagawin na pagluluto bilang kalinisan sa paligid sa nilulutuan mo. Sanitizing, reduce pathogen on a surface to a safe level. Like sa gamit na ginagamitan sa pagluluto ay dapat isanitize kasi pwede ito pagdapuan ng germs at lalong-lalo na sa pagkain, hugasan ng mabuti at panatiliing malinis sa kapaligiran. So, dito na tayo sa cleaners. Cleaners must be stable, non-corrosive, and safe to use. Ask your supplier to help you pick cleaners that meet your needs. Like a non-corrosive kasi is object hindi madaling masira ng mga chemical reaction kagaya ng acid or water. Kailangan ang gagamiting panglinis is hindi siya nakakapang damage ng kagamitan like spoon kasi baka ito mga lawang. Okay, next na tayo. Follow manufacturer's instruction carefully. If not used the correct way, cleaners may not work and can even be dangerous. Ito na. Maraming tagapaglinis ang may mga tiyak na tagabili na dapat sundin upang gumana ang mga ito ng tama. Kadalasan ito ay dahil ang mga panlinis ay naglalaman ng mga kemikal na maaaring mapanganib kung ginamit ng hindi tama. Halimbawa, ang ilang panlinis ay kailangan wisikan ng tubig bago gamitin habang ang iba ay hindi dapat gamitin sa ibang uri ng kagamitan. Do not use one type of cleaner in place of another unless the intended use is the same. So, pagdating sa paglinis nito, mahalagang gamitin ang tamang produkto para sa tamang trabaho. Ang paggamit ng maling panlinis ay maaring hindi epekto at mapanganib pa. So next, sanitizers. Food contact surface must be sanitized after they have been cleaned and rinsed. This can be done by using heat or chemicals. Dito may dalawang categories tayo ng sanitizers like heat sanitizing and chemical sanitizing. Heat sanitizing. One way to sanitize items is to soak them in a hot water. For this method to work, the water must be at least 171 Fahrenheit and 77 Celsius. The items must be soaked for at least 30 seconds. Another way to sanitize item is to run them through a higher temperature dishwasher. Ang sinasabi dito ay like sa mga fast food, yung parang lagayan ng mga spoon at fork ay may water na 171 Fahrenheit and 77 Celsius. Kasi kailangan talaga ibabad sa lagayan kasi baka mag-cause ng mga germs ang spoon and fork. At sa another way to sanitize ay parang may machine na panghugas sa mga tools and equipments at naka high temperature na iyon. Okay, next. Chemical sanitizing. Three common types of chemical sanitizer are chlorine, iodine, and quaternary aluminum compounds or QUATs. Chemical sanitizer are regulated by state and federal Environment Protection Agency or EPAS. Like, may mga types ng chemical sanitizing like chlorine, iodine, and quaternary aluminum compounds, in short, QUATs. At chemical sanitizer ay kontrolado ng estado at mga federal na mga ahensya ng proteksyon sa ating kapaligiran. Okay, next. Effectiveness of sanitizer. Several factors influence the effectiveness of chemical sanitizer. The most critical include by concentration. The concentration of the solution tells how much solute has been dissolved in the solvent. Next, temperature. The measure of hotness or coldness expressed in terms of any of several scale including Fahrenheit and Celsius. Next, contact time. Contact time. The amount of a disinfectant need to sit on a surface without being wiped away or distributed to effectively kill germs. Next, water hardness. The amount of dissolved calcium and magnesium in the water. Next, pH. pH, a measure of the acidity or alkalinity of a solution equal to the common local rate of the disseminate of solution.
Concentration. Sanitizer solution is a mix of chemical sanitizer and water. Ang sanitizer solution daw po ay mix ng chemical sanitizer at tubig. The concentration of this mix, the amount of sanitizer to water is critical. Too little sanitizer may make the solution weak and useless. Too much of sanitizer may make the solution too strong and unsafe. It can also leave a bad taste on items. Kapag maliit po ang amount ng sanitizer is magiging useless yung solution. Kapag naman po sumobra is tatapang, which is unsafe. Concentration is measured in parts per million. To check the concentration of sanitizer solution, use a test kit. Make sure it is made for the sanitizer being used. Hard water, food bits, and leftover detergent can reduce the solution effectiveness. Temperature. The water in sanitizing solution must be the correct temperature. So, ano nga po ba yung proper temperature? The proper temperature to sanitizing is between 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Contact time. For a sanitizer solution to kill pathogen, it must make contact with the object being sanitized for a specific amount of time. Sa pagsasanitize naman po ay may tamang oras o tagal sa pagsasanitize. It must be in contact with the solution for at least 30 seconds. Water hardness. Water hardness can affect how well sanitizer works. Water hardness is the amount of minerals in water. Find out what your water hardness is from your municipality. Then work with your supplier to identify the correct amount of sanitizer to use for your water. Ano nga po ba yung acceptable na level ng water hardness? 0 to 3 GPG is considered as soft water. 3.5 to 7 GPG is considered moderate and ideal. 7 to 7.5 GPG is regarded as hard water and should be treated with the water softer. pH level. Water pH level can also affect sanitizer. Find out what the pH level of your water is from your municipality. Ano nga po ba yung normal range ng pH level? The normal range for pH in surface water system is 6.5 to 8.5.
How and when to clean and sanitize. All surfaces must be cleaned and rinsed. These include walls, storage shelves, and garbage containers. However, any surface that touches food, such as knives, stock pots, cutting boards, or preparation tables, must be cleaned and sanitized. It is critical to understand the how and when to clean and sanitize various sections of the household, kitchen, and other places and equipment that require frequent cleaning and sanitizing. For this can help to understand and to eliminate the spread of germs or diseases. Cleaning with water, soap, and scrubbing are key steps in the cleaning and sanitizing process, which does eliminate the majority of bacteria, dust, and contaminants from various surfaces and equipment. On the other hand, sanitations plays a crucial role in reducing the level of germs to a safe level. In the hotel industry or food industry, for instance, frequent cleaning and sanitizing are necessary every minute due to the possibility that visitors may spread bacteria or illnesses from various surfaces they come into contact with. In addition to guaranteeing a hygienic and secure atmosphere, appropriate cleaning and sanitation procedure also aid in preventing the spread of diseases. So, meron tayo ditong procedure and process on how to clean and sanitize and cleaning and sanitizing stationary equipment. Katulad ng ginagawa namin sa food prep, before we start the laboratory, yung hinihiram namin ng mga gamit ay hinuhugasan muna namin, and then yung table bago kami maglagay ng mga ingredients, tools and equipment na gagamitin namin. Nililinis muna namin ito gamit ang wet towel with soap, then another wet towel para mawala yung mga germs o bacteria dito. How to clean and sanitize. Number 1, scrape or remove food bits from the surface. Use the correct cleaning tools such as nylon, brush or pad, or the cloth towel. Number 2, wash the surface. Prepare the cleaning solution with an approved cleaner. Wash the surface with the correct cleaning tool such as a cloth towel. Number 3, rinse with water. Use clean water. Rinse the surface with the correct cleaning tool such as cloth towel. Number 4, sanitize the water. Sanitize with water. Use the correct sanitizing solution. Prepare the concentration per manufacturer requirements. Use the correct tool such as cloth towel to sanitize the surface. Make sure the entire surface has come in a contact with the sanitizing solution. Allow the surface to air dry. All the food contact surfaces need to be cleaned and sanitized this time after they are used. Before food handlers start work with a different type of food. Anytime food handlers are interrupted during a task and the items being used may have been contaminated. After 4 hours, or if items are in constant use. Cleaning and sanitizing stationary equipment. Equipment manufacturers will usually provide instructions for cleaning and sanitizing stationary equipment such as a slicer. Meron tayo ditong mga steps to follow the instruction for cleaning and sanitizing. Number 1, unplug the equipment. Siyempre, kailangan nakatanggal muna sa saksak yung equipment bago natin ito linisin. Number 2, take the removable parts of the equipment. Wash, rinse, and sanitize them by hand. So, dito, kailangan nating tanggalin muna yung mga removable parts or yung mga by part ng mga equipment, like katulad sa hand mixer, kailangan muna natin siyang tanggalin yung pinang mimix, then wawash natin to, rinse and sanitize by hand lang muna. Tapos scrape yung mga food na natira dun sa surfaces na pinaggawaan natin. Then number 4, wash the equipment surfaces. Use a cleaning solution prepared with an approved cleaner. Wash the equipment with the correct cleaning tool such as nylon, brush, or pad, or a cloth towel. Tapos dito, kailangan nating linisin yun yung surface, yung table surface na ginawa natin ng paglilinis. Then, number 5, rinse the equipment surfaces with the clean water. Use a cloth towel or other correct tool. So, dito babanlawan natin yung mga equipment and yung surface na pinaggawaan natin and ginamit natin. Number 6, sanitize the equipment surfaces. Make sure the sanitizer comes in contact with each surface. The concentration of the sanitizer must meet requirements. Allow all surfaces to air dry. Put the unit back together. Tapos, need natin itong patuyuin bago natin ito ibalik sa dati niyang hulma or yung pinaka itsura niya.
Dishwashing. Ang mga plato, kutsara at baso. Ito ay kadalasang ginagamitan ng machine dishwashing. At ang mga kaldero, kawali. Ito naman ay minsan ay hinuhugasan sa 3 compartment sink. At ito ay tinatawag na manual dishwashing. Dishwashing machines. Dito sinasanitize gamit ang mainit na tubig o gumagamit ng chemical sanitizing solution. Machine dishwashing, high temperature machine. Dito ginagamitan ng mainit na tubig upang malinis ng maayos ang mga utensils. If hindi kaya ng mainit na tubig, minsan ginagamitan ng chemical. At ang temperatura ng pagsasanitize ay dapat umabot ng 180 degree Fahrenheit. Chemical sanitizing machine naman, dito ginagamit ang mga chemical upang malinis na maayos ang mga utensils. At kailangan mas mababa ang temperatura ng tubig na gagamitin dito. At kailangan nakafollow ang dishwasher sa manufacturer's guidelines. Dishwasher operation. Kailangan ma-operate ang maayos ng dishwasher ng machines. Kahit anong type pa yan, kahit anong brand, kailangan ma-follow nyo yung mga guidelines upang maiwasan ng abala. Keeping the machine clean. Kailangan malinis ang machine bago gamitin. Or pagkatapos gamitin, kailangan malinis kahit once a day lang. At kailangan mag-spray ng nozzle sa mga foreign objects. Kailangan matanggal din ang mga mineral deposits kapag kailangan. Dishwasher operation. Kailangan naka-prepare na yung mga lilinisin. Or minsan kailangan ibabad muna ang mga lilinisin para mas mapabilis ang trabaho, para mas lumambot ang mga nakadikit dito. At kailangan may naka-ready ka na rack para pagkatapos mo linisin, dun mo ipapatong at para mapatulo mo ang mga nahugasan mo. At pagkatapos mo mapatulo ang mga nahugasan mo na, kailangan patuyuin mo to gamit ang towel. At pagkatapos mo naman mapatuyo gamit ang towel, kailangan i-monitor mo kung may mga tira-tira pa na dumi sa mga utensils na hinugasan mo. Manual dishwashing. Operations often use a 3-compartment sink to clean and sanitize large items. The sink must be set up correctly before use. So, merong 3 parte ang lababo para malinis ang mga malalaking hugasin sa kusina bago ito gamitin. Bali, ang una mong gagawin is clean and sanitize each sink and drain board. So, una ay ang linisin at punasan ng bawat sink. And then, pangalawa, fill the sink with the detergent and water. The water temperature must be at least 110 Fahrenheit or 400 degrees Celsius. Bali, ang pangalawa ay lagyan ng detergent at tubig ang unang lababo. Tiyakin na nasa 110 Fahrenheit o 400 degrees ang init ng tubig.
And then next is fill the second sink with clean water. This is not necessary if the item will be sprayed, rinse instead of being dipped. Pangatlo, punuin ng tubig ang pangalawang lababo ng malinis na tubig. And then next is fill the third sink with water and sanitize the correct concentration. Hot water can be used as an alternative. Bali, ang pang-apat ay lagyan ng tubig at sanitizer ang pangatlong lababo to correct concentration. At kung walang sanitizer, pwede naman ang mainit na tubig. And then the last, provide a clock with the second hand. This will let the food handlers time how long items have been in the sanitizer. Kailangan mo maglagay ng timer sa tabi mo upang malaman mo kung gaano na ito nakababad sa sanitizer.
Storing tableware and equipment. Once utensils, tableware, and equipment have been cleaned and sanitized, they must be stored in a way that will protect them from contamination. Storage. Store tableware and utensils at least 6 inches 15 centimeters off the floor. Protect them from dirt and moisture. Sabi dito, pagkatapos malinisan ng mga kagamitan, kailangan siyang itabi ng maayos kung saan hindi siya makokontaminate. At sa pagtatabi nito ay kailangan niya ng at least 6 inches off the floor para maiwasan ang moisture at dumi. Storage surfaces. Clean and sanitize drawers and shelves before storing clean items. Glass and flatware. Store glasses and cups upside down on a clean and sanitized shelf or rack. Store flatware and utensils with handles up. Staff can then pick them up without touching food contact surfaces. Ilagay ang malinis na equipment at kagamitan. Kailangan muna nating linisin ang mga paglalagyan nito. At sa paglagay naman ng mga baso at flatware ay kailangang naka-upside down para hindi magkaroon ng food contamination kapag ito ay hinawakan ng staff. Trays and carts. Clean and sanitize trays and carts used to carry clean tableware and utensils. Check them daily and clean as often as needed. Stationary equipment. Keep the food contact surfaces of stationary equipment covered until ready for use. Dito naman is kailangan laging malinis at araw-araw i-check kung malinis ang mga trays and carts dahil ito ay ang pinagdadala ng mga kagamitan. Sa stationary equipment naman is kailangan lagi siyang may cover hanggang bago gamitin. Cleaning and sanitizing in the operation. Keeping your operation clean means using the correct tools, supplies, and storage to prevent contamination. For all of your cleaning efforts to come together, you need a master cleaning schedule. Making this schedule work also means training and monitoring your staff to be sure they can follow it. Dito naman sa cleaning and sanitizing the operation, sa paglilinis daw ay kailangan ng tamang mga kagamitan at kailangan din na may sinusunod na schedule para ma-monitor at may apply ng mga staff sa araw-araw na gawaing paglilinis. Master cleaning schedule. Ito naman po yung example ng isang cleaning schedule na kailangang sundin ng mga staff. Cleaning the premises. Non-food contact surface must be cleaned regularly. Examples including floors, ceilings, equipment exteriors, restroom, and walls. Regular cleaning prevents dust, dirt, and food residue from building up. Ang non-food contact surfaces naman ay kailangan linisin at i-check regularly para maiwasan ang pamumuo ng mga dumi at alikabok. Tools and supplies. Your staff needs many tools and supplies to keep the operation clean. However, these items can contaminate food and surfaces if they are not used and stored correctly. Cleaning tools and chemicals must be stored in a separate area away from food and preparation areas. Ang mga staff ay kailangan ng maraming kagamitan at supplies sa paglilinis at kailangan din na magkaroon ito ng tamang lagayan o sariling kwarto na nakahiwalay sa kusina kung saan nagpe-prepare ng pagkain.
Additionally, cleaning tools and supplies. To prevent contamination, never clean mops, brushes, or other tools in sinks used for hand washing, food preparation, or dishwashing. Additionally, never dump mop water or other liquid waste into toilets or urinals. Air dry towels overnight. So sabi dito, para ma-prevent ang contamination, wag na wag mong lilinisin ang mga mop, brushes, or kahit ano pang tools na panglinis sa panglinis sa kitchen. Wag na wag mo siyang hugasan sa lababo na pinaghuhugasan ng kamay, pinaghahandaan ng mga pagkain, and also sa mga paglilinis ng mga plato, di ba? And also, wag na wag mong gagawin na ilalagay yung mop doon sa toilets or ihian ng mga tao, di ba? Kasi kadiri naman yun. And also, air dry towels overnight. Hayaan mo lang siyang matuyo nang nakahang yung mop. Hindi na pipigaan mo ng gamit yung kamay mo.
Cleaning tools and supplies. Hang mops, brooms, and brushes on hooks to air dry. Clean and rinse buckets. Let them air dry and then store them with other tools. Kailangan pagtapos gamitin ng mga mops at iba pa ay isabit ito at hayaang matuyo. Ganon din sa mga buckets at ilagay itong mga ito sa tama at maayos na lagayan. Many of the chemicals used in the operation can be hazardous, especially if they are used the wrong way. Store chemicals in their original containers away from food and preparation areas. Separate by spacing or partitioning. If chemicals are transferred to a new container, the label on the container must list the common name of the chemical. Ang mga chemical na ginagamit sa paglilinis ay kailangan din ng sariling lagayan, kagaya na lamang ng isang chemical cage. At kailangan din ito ay malayo sa kusina kung saan nagluluto at nagpe-prepare ng pagkain. When throwing out chemicals, follow the instruction on the label and any requirements from your local regulatory authority. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration or OSHA have requirements for using chemicals. OSHA requires chemical manufacturers and suppliers to provide a material safety data sheets or MSDS for each hazardous chemical they sell. Sa pagtatapon naman ng chemical na ginagamit ay kailangan sundin ang mga label na nakalagay sa isang chemical para ma-ensure ang safety.
Ayan. So, next na tayo. Dito na tayo sa developing a cleaning program. Sabi, to develop an effective cleaning program for your operation, you must focus on 3 things. First is creating a master cleaning schedule. Create a master cleaning schedule with the following information. And these is what should be clean. So, yan. Diba sabi, what should be clean? Ano yung mga dapat mong linisin? Lalo-lalo na sa mga area mo. Yung lamesa, diba? Kasi, pagka magla-laboratory sa school, diba? Hindi lang dapat tayo basta gagamit ng lamesa na agad-agaran. Kailangan muna natin siyang linisin, diba? I-sanitize. Kailangan natin siya punasan ng towel na merong sabon. And yun, sabi, list all cleaning jobs in one area or list job in order they should be performed. So, yun lang. Yun din na ang tawag doon, yung lamesa, diba? Lilinisan mo siya. Hindi lang siya basta pupunasan lang ng isang pasadang punas. Hindi ganon. Kailangan din may tamang pag-perform din ng paglilinis ng lamesa. And also ganon din sa food. And next is who should be clean it. Who? Ibig sabihin sino yung ang dapat maglinis ng area na yon. Halimbawa sa area na yon, sino ang dapat na maglinis ng area na yon, ng lamesa na yon. Then ganun din sa mga tools and equipment, diba? Sino ang mga dapat maglilinis na neto ng mga gagamitin, kagaya sa mga food laboratory natin, di ba? Kung sino yung maglilinis na ng mga plates, ng mga pan, ng mga utensils, mga knife, ganon, may mga naka-assign din. And then ganon din naman sa food na gagamitin, nalulutuin, I mean, ganon din siya. Kailangan may naka-assign din kung sino maghuhugas, hindi lang iisang tao, di ba? And sabi, assign is each task to a specific individual. Then next is when it should be clean. When, so kailan mo gagawin or ipe-perform ba paglilinis, di ba? Ganun din, di ba? Example sa pag laboratory natin na kailangan lilinisin agad bago gamitin. So, dapat pagkarating pa lang doon, hindi na tayo tutulala or hindi na tayo basta magkwentuhan pa ng mga kung ano-ano. Kailangan linisan na muna natin agad yan yung area natin na yan. Sabi dito, staff should clean and sanitize as needed. Schedule major cleaning when food will not be contaminated or service will not be affected. Schedule work shift to allow enough time. So, ibig sabihin, diba, nilinisan mo na yung area na yon. So, yung area na yon is, may mga, pa rin, contaminated. So, uulitin mo pa siya. Then, after mo siya maulit, hindi mo siya basta-basta ilalagay agad yung mga gamit mo or yung mga food doon kasi nga kakalinis mo pa lang. Kasi baka yung gagamitin mo naman yung maapektuhan doon sa paglilinis mo na yon. And next is how it should be clean. How? Paano mo siya lilinisan? So, kagaya na nga sinabi ko na hindi mo lang siya basta pupunasan ng isang diretsyo lang, di ba? Have a clear written procedures for cleaning. List cleaning tools and chemicals by name. So, yun. For halimbawa, sa sanitizer. Halimbawa, itong sanitizer, yung container or lalagyanan ng sanitizers is kulay puti. Then, ganun din sa water, kulay puti din. Then, ganun din sa may alcohol na panlinis din is kulay puti. So, kailangan mo siya lagyan ng label or names kung ano din yung alcohol, yung tubig, and yung sanitizers na gagamitin mo. Then, ganun din sa procedures kung paano lutuin, kung paano gamitin yung mga yon. Post-cleaning instruction near the item. Always follow manufacturer's instruction when cleaning equipment. Yun nga, di ba? Hindi natin basta-basta gagamitin agad na papatakan or lalagyan natin agad ng alcohol or pupunasan natin agad ng ganto. Kailangan may mga instructions pa rin na tama tayong susundin. And the second things na kailangan mong malaman para sa effective cleaning program is training your staff to allow the program. Sabi, schedule time for training. So yan, schedule time for training, hindi lang basta-basta na kapag di ba nga kasi may mga taglilinis tayo. Halimbawa sa janitor, may bagong, di ba, sa trabaho nila. Halimbawa sa trabaho nila na eto si janitor 1 is matagal na sa pag-janitor, then si janitor 2 is bago pa lang. So ang mangyayari, si janitor 1 tuturuan niya yung si janitor 2 na paano gawin, paano ganito, paano ganyan. And si janitor 2 naman, di ba, may mga times kasi na iba na katrabaho natin na hindi masyadong nakikinig, basta umuoo na lang. So, kailangan may time for training din para sa kanila. Kahit na sabihin natin, bago pa sila. Para may malaman agad or may mga idea agad sila kung paano ang gagawin nila. Ganon din sa ating mga student, di ba? Kailangan hindi lang basta-basta natin na sasang-ayunan na ganito gagawin mo. Then, sasagot ka lang ng, oo, sige, alam ko na yan. kailangan alam mo pa rin kung paano siya linisin or kung paano yung procedure ng paglilinis ng area na yon or sa mga gamit or sa food, di ba? Then, sabi, work with small groups or conduct training by area. So, yun nga, di ba? May mga, for example, sa area to, dapat may tamang pagtitraining na paglilinis sa area na to. Kailangan hindi sobrang daming Sunrox or hindi man sobrang daming alcohol or sanitizers, ganun. Kailangan may training sa paglilinis kasi nga dapat may tamang procedure tayo. And ang lastly is yung monitoring the cleaning program. Then, sabi dito, may 5 categories naman ng monitoring the cleaning program. First is, make sure the cleaning program is working. Dapat, lagi siyang nagagawa yung pagki-clean and sanitize kasi nga, sobrang mahalaga siya. Then, supervise daily cleaning routines. Yan, hindi lang dapat chine-check or mini-make sure. Dapat may kita doon na araw-araw and may daily routines ng paglilinis. Hindi nalinisan ko na yan sa ibang araw naman kasi baka malinis pa yan. Hindi ganon. Dapat laging or araw-araw mo siyang lilinisan. And the third one is check all cleaning tasks against the master schedule every day. Yan, laging i-check yung master schedule gaya nung kaninang nasa slide na may mga schedule, di ba? Ayun, di ba? Halimbawa, ayan, sa dishwasher interior, mga ganon, and exit table, and shelf, and etc. Ganon. Kailangan na-check pa rin siya, nasa-check siya lagi araw-araw pala. Then ang sumunod is change the master schedule as needed for any changes in menu, procedures or equipment. So yun nga, 'di ba? Hindi lang dapat magi-stay doon. Halimbawa sa procedures, 'di ba? May napansin ka na parang hindi na tama sa schedules ng procedures sa paglilinis. For example, napansin mo yung procedures is parang may kulang. So, dapat may pagbabago din doon para hindi lang or para mag-improve yung paglilinis ng area na yon, 'di ba? And the last one is ask staff during meetings for input on the program. So, yun nga. Kailangan pa rin nating mag-ask sa mga ibang staff kung paano yung mga gagawin and kung paano mag-clean and sanitize ng area na yon. Ayun lang guys. Thank you for listening and sana may nakuha kayong aral sa aming grupo.